Hey guys, Allie with Imperfect Pages again. Back for the second time this month, which is crazy because I've only posted like 4 videos this year. Anyway, here comes Juliet to, be a little disruptive kitten in my video again. I think it's just in true Juliet fashion that she has to show up when the camera comes out. Anyway, that's my long rambly intro, but I thought today I would do a show of all the journals that I have used this year. They are in varying stages of being complete. Here comes Luna also. Luna, come here. Come say hi. She isn't gonna come say hi, so I'll turn the camera instead. She's gonna lay in her bed because she is 12 years old. She's got heart and kidney failure, and she's on her little puppy hospice, so we're just taking care of her and spoiling her as best as possible for, however long she has left. So, you know what? If she doesn't want to make an appearance in the video, that's okay too. But yeah, anyway, long rambly intro. Journals. I've got journals here. And Sheldon may also make an appearance because now she's walking this way. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, so my journals that I started the year with 3 journals. They were these 3. Here comes Shelly. Come on. You might as well join the video too. Come here. I think you can kind of see a little bit of her tail. Come here. Come see. There she is. Now all the pets have made an appearance, which is just wonderful. Oh, did you get startled by the presents? Anyway, I started the year with these 3 journals. A moleskin expanded with a navy cover, a composition notebook. This came from the dollar store, and this pin and gear, I think it's just like one of the 192 page, I don't know, hardcover notebooks. I've used a few of these. I don't know how to explain what style they are. Anyway, I started the year with this as my regular journal. This lasted me just for the month of January. I had kind of a lot going on. The beginning of the year was kind of rough. I was still kind of figuring out my mental health, and this notebook just took all of my feelings and emotions and ramblings, and I did do some collage kind of stuff. Like there's this that I did one day. I know there's a big painted page in here. I did this, but this one was mostly writing, which is why it didn't chunk up super, super wide or anything. But yeah, this was just, like I said, a dollar store notebook. I really liked it. And I just added this little patch and then a tiny 2023 to the cover. And that was my first journal of the year. This was kind of a failed project this year. I don't want to say failed, but it just didn't end up working out the way I had planned on using it. When I started this in January, I had planned on it being kind of a reference book for the entire year. I had made some, see if I can find one. I had made calendar spreads, and I had some reading spreads and budget trackers, wish lists. I had a couple collages that I started, and then in about March, I stopped using this. It didn't really serve a purpose for me anymore. My original plans for it just didn't end up working. I did end up going in and adding some odds, bits and bobs. This was a postcard and some lists from my Florida trip that I took this summer. I threw in my June TBR from this year. I did some painting with gouache. I did, you know, I got to about here in the book, so it's not quite halfway, but it just felt, it kind of feels like a waste of paper, and I need to go back in and figure out how to repurpose it. I don't know if, you know, I can just start from here and just use it as a daily journal and, you know, just make it work and ignore the pages that are kind of already filled. Because I do like the notebook itself. It's a, you know, like I said, it's a moleskin expanded. It's, you know, what is this? Weird. A weird piece of hair. I can see it. Oh, interesting. Anyway, I like the cover and stuff, and I like the paper. It's one of the ones that's, it does have the quality control sticker in it. So it does hold fountain pen ink and everything. It just, I think I just got overwhelmed by having too many notebooks at the beginning of the year, because I also had this one going at the same time, which I was using as a sort of spiritual study book kind of thing. I was using it for manifesting, for new moon and full moon rituals, for a tarot study, kind of the more like witchy, hippie kind of stuff that I am into, which I now incorporate just into my regular journals. And I used about this much in this journal and then abandoned it. And this one, again, it kind of lasted me until March, and that's kind of where I hit a slump in my mental health. I was in school part-time. I was working like 50 hours a week. It was just too much, and then just my journals really got neglected at that time, and I got overwhelmed. And, you know, it just kind of shows where my mental health was at the time. And I will come back to this journal. I actually have plans of using this notebook to do my reflections for Heather Mattern's, shoot, what's the title of the book called? It's got a green cover, and Manifesting Magic, I think that's what it's called. Manifesting Magic, I don't know, but it helps you dive into like your word of the year and your reflections from the previous year. So I did start my next page. It's just 2023 reflections, and I want to, at the beginning of the year, I had made a manifestations page, and I want to reflect on which ones came true this year and which ones I'm still waiting on to come true, and then reflect on 2023 and then set my intentions for 2024. I think I want to do that in here, and still that way this can be a place that I come back to every year and do my end of the year reflections, and then my beginning of the year manifestations and setting intentions. I think it'd be really cool to be able to have, like, yeah, I could fit five years of that, 5 or 6 years of it in this notebook. That way this doesn't, you know, go to waste or just sit on my bookshelf. But yeah, those are my first 3 that I started the year with. And I'm going to try to be less rambly because I'm already at 9 minutes and I still have many journals to go. This was my second daily journal of the year. This one I started February 1st. And yeah, I'd done this like cute little collage. And then as you can see, I only used this much of it, and I abandoned this journal at the end of February 28th. I wrote, we're going to retire this journal for the time being. I'm just not feeling connected to it, and I'll plan to come back to it in the future. So this is a farewell for now. And again, well, I'll show my next journal, and then I'll kind of give you my thoughts on why I feel like I abandoned so many journals this year. I used this one next. I got this one at the end of February, and I started it March 1st, and I was very excited to use this one because it was a grid paper journal. I was excited that it would have space for me to collage and to, you know, do some planning, drawing stuff. And I used this one for about, I used this until let's see where my final page in here is. April 11th looks like the last day that I actually wrote. And I didn't even write. I just painted a huge mess on this page. And I just didn't feel quite connected to this one either. And I will say, again, I was in school full-time, or I was in school part-time, working full-time. So the time that I had to journal was about 20 minutes in the evenings if I had the energy left after, you know, a full day to sit down and journal. And at the time, I didn't have it. I was intimidated by the size of the pages. I lost my momentum for it. And I didn't feel as connected to my journals during this time. There was about a 2-month time period where I felt very disconnected from my journaling, and it reflects in my writing. It reflects in the fact that I abandoned 4 journals this year just because I didn't feel the connection to them that I did like my journals from the rest of the year. And in April, I started this journal, and you can see the physical difference between these 2 journals. Like, look how much thicker this one is compared to this one. This journal, my partner gave it to me. It's a Peter Popper press. I started it April 17th because that's our anniversary. And he gave me this for our anniversary. And then I ended this I filled like every single page of this journal. There is not a single page that's not jam-packed with drawing or writing. It looks like July 14th is the last day I wrote in here. And I love this journal. I've got like this page that I really, really love. I love the collage in here. I did a lot of random journaling because I had surgery, my endometriosis surgery when I was in this journal. My birthday was during this journal. I went on vacation during this journal in June. What else happened? I don't know, most of the summer was in here, and I feel like I do journal more in the summer because my mental health is usually in a better place in the summer. But I also just did a lot of like collaging like this that I really enjoyed. Yeah, this is probably my second favorite journal from this year. Or it might be tied with one other one as my favorite journal. I really felt connected to this one. I felt like I got my groove back in here. It just felt very homey and comfortable and safe. And I was really sad when this one ended, but at the same time, the spine, look at it. It's literally like warped down here. This is the back cover page. And you can just tell how much this journal went through because it literally did carry me through 3 months of, oh, and I changed jobs. I took a promotion at my old job, which I don't work in anymore, but that was in here also. So yeah, there was that journal. God, I talked about that one for a really long time too. This was my travel journal, my vacation journal. This journal did take place during the same time as this one. In hindsight, I probably should have just put my vacation stuff in my regular journal because I still have pages that I need to go back in here and finish. And I'm thinking about maybe doing a YouTube or Instagram live where I just sit down and go into my journals and finish a bunch of blank pages, or like, you know, pages that aren't quite finished, but I haven't decided on that yet. If that's something you guys would be interested in, comment or shoot me a message on Instagram and let me know if that's something you'd be into. But yeah, my family and I went to Destin, Florida, and this is my journal from the trip. I just did some collaging and stuff in here. There's a collage there. You know, I kept the sticker from Buc-ee's and I don't know, some magazine stuff. And then there's like photos and stuff in here that I'm not gonna show because they have my family members in them. But yeah. And then after, what are you doing? You getting into the boxes? After the Peter Popper Press journal, I moved into this journal, which was kind of both a combo of a regular journal and a travel journal. This held my Wyoming trip, but this journal started July 17th and then ended August 20th. So it lasted me right about a month. This is a Pin and Gear journal from Walmart. I don't think I mentioned, this is a Artist Loft sketchbook from Michaels. I just painted the cover. I think this had a panda cover on it, but it's definitely one of just the small 40-page sketchbooks from Michaels. This came from Staples. It's just a I don't know if it has the brand in it. I guess I didn't keep, oh yeah, it's one of the True Red Graft journals. And then this one is an Exceed journal from Walmart. I think I told you about the other ones. Those ones I just forgot the info on. But yeah, this is just a Pin and Gear. It came in like a 3-pack in the back to school section last year, and this is the first one I used of it. I just collaged the cover with some stickers from the trip and some more stickers on the back. And then I did collage the inside as well. And there's a little patch in here. But yeah, this held my Wyoming trip. So from these pages here are regular journaling, and then all of this in the middle are travel journal pages. And I loved this journal. I kept the maps from Yellowstone. I did a little bit of watercoloring in here. I did a ton of collaging. I'm going to cover my partner's face here because he's not going to want to be on the internet, but I have photos in here. Sorry, I'm a little congested because it's been 50 degrees today and yesterday, so my head is very congested. Oh, but I kept the trail guide from Old Faithful, and did some collage behind it. And I found these cute little patches in one of the gift shops, and they're maybe my favorite thing that I put in here. They're just so cute. I'm trying to find more pages that I can show, but a lot of them have either my friend that we went out to visit or my partner in here. We went to World Market. I kept the bag and glued it in here. Yeah, I really loved this journal, and it was very cute because I took my journal with me, and I took a little pin case of journal supplies, and my partner knows I journal, but until that trip, I don't think he really understood how my journaling worked. And luckily I had some washi tape and stuff with me in my carry-on bag that I took through the airport. And when we got stuck in Denver airport overnight, we were trying to find phone charger outlets, and all the outlets in the terminal we were in were loose. So we used washi tape to tape the outlets to the wall, or to tape the chargers to the wall, so that they would actually stay in the outlet. But yeah, it was just, now I think he understands how I journal better, because he just kept saying, "You're so cute with your little journaling stuff." And when I tell him, "Hey, I'm gonna keep that receipt," or "I'm gonna keep that bag or that pamphlet," it just now he doesn't question it anymore. But yeah, I really love this journal. I think these two are probably my two favorites from the year. They just, you can tell that I just lived in those journals because of how chunky they got. And then I moved into this tiny journal, which came from Tractor Supply. It doesn't have a brand. I put a little postcard on the back. I think I've shown this one on the channel maybe, but it's just a little, like, it's a little bigger than pocket size. I think it's maybe like a 4x6 size. But I did a little collage on the front cover, and I started this August 21st. So it started immediately after that travel journal. And then I used this until, I think my last page in here was October, well, the last day of September, and I started something new in October. In this journal, I put in my 2-week notice at the job I had been at for 2 years. I went on a day trip up to Chicago for a concert. I took a couple sick days from work because I was trying to figure out what I needed to do about work. That's a whole story for a different video. I'm not going to go into it here, but all of that pondering went into this journal. So this one's, I hold it very close to my heart, but at the same time, it's not one that I want to revisit often, just because it did have a lot of difficult emotions in it. But you can tell that I stuffed this one too. It was interesting that it lasted me about a month. I thought I would fly through this one a lot faster because it was smaller. But I think at the time, the smaller pages were kind of what I needed. I think this had like 200 or 250 pages in it. So, I don't know. I really liked it. I liked the size. I'll definitely use more small ones again. And then from there, I moved into this big sketchbook, and look at the size difference. I don't know what I was thinking. Other than I knew there was going to be a lot of changes happening, and I wanted a place to be able to work through all the changes. I ended up abandoning this one. I started this October 1st, and I used it until, I used this until October 24th. So in 24 days, I only used about 20 pages. Like I didn't even use a quarter of this journal. And this is a blank sketchbook from Barnes & Noble, and then I just collaged the cover. I really think I just had too much stuff going on, and it was taking me too long to fill the pages, so then I was getting discouraged that I wasn't journaling enough, even though I was. So after about 20 days, I was like, I really need something else. So I abandoned this one for now. I wrote myself a note, retiring this journal for now, simply too big for what I can manage at the moment. I'll come back here when I'm drawn back. And, I truly believe I will come back to this one at some point. I liked it when I was using it for the first week or two before I got overwhelmed. So I'm sure I'll come back to that one. But from there, I moved into this. This is just a Dollar Tree journal. It had 80 pages. If I cover, I can't show that. This one is a little more personal, so there's not really a lot I can show. And I have shown a lot of the pages that are in here on my Instagram. I can show this. This is my November cover page. This journal took me from October 24th through November 23rd, so it took me 1 month. I finished this on Thanksgiving, which was very pleasing. And I really liked this journal. I will definitely use more thin journals like this. That's kind of my plan for 2024, is to use thin journals just to try to get through some of my stash, because I have a stash of 60 journals, I think. And a lot of them are thin ones like this. And this, if this took me a month, I could fill easily, 6 or 7 of them next year. And then maybe, a normal sized journal or 2. And then, so this took me a month. And then I moved into this, which is my December journal / December until whenever I finish it. I'm in no rush. I did set aside my pages for December, the Create December Challenge. And then I am almost to the halfway mark in this journal, because I am doing some regular journaling in the back as well. So, I don't know, let me see. Yeah, like I am doing regular journaling pages like these in the back. So, I don't know. This journal will probably last me through half of January at the rate that I'm working, and then I'll move into something else. I just don't know what that's going to be yet. I'm thinking, I have a few Moleskine, I think they're Moleskine Kahir or something. I don't know how they're pronounced, but they're blank pages, and I'm thinking about using one of those next. So that's kind of my plan. So overall, I filled well, this one's not filled. I'm not going to say filled. I'm going to say worked in. I worked in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 journals this year. It averages about 1 per month if you break it down. And that's about average for me. I think last year I filled around 10, and the year before I think I filled 8 or 9. So that's about average for me, especially if we, don't include the ones like this one or the one that was my study book. I would say I filled or worked in about 10 regular journals. So yeah, let me know how many journals you guys filled this year. And what are your plans for journaling in 2024? Let me know if that live video, where I just go in and fill some blank pages, if that's something anyone's interested in. If not, I'm not gonna be offended. Otherwise, I will take my rambly self out of here, and I hope you guys have a great day, have a great holiday. If I don't post again in the meantime, I hope everyone has a safe holiday, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, I hope you guys are just having a good time, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.